Hi everybody, I'm Boomer Esiason from WestwoodOne Sports with our executive producer Howard Deneroff of WestwoodOne. He's also the most interesting man in the world as far as we're concerned, and he's maybe the most important person for WestwoodOne because he gets it done. So Howard, how long have you been producing Monday Night Football and the Super Bowl for WestwoodOne?
This is my 25th season, and this will be my 25th Super Bowl.
Speak up, they want to hear you.
25th season, 25th Super Bowl.
Right, so we're here at the Philadelphia-New Orleans game. How many plugs did you have to plug in today?
Actually, I don't actually do the plugs. We have an engineer who handles that.
He gets it done.
He gets it done, right, because otherwise nobody hears us around the country, and so it's very important. We have a lot of guys like that behind the scenes. I'm just the one who coordinates everything among the crew, the announcers behind the scenes, and so everyone can hear it.
But your title, the executive producer.
Correct.
But you're making it more sound like you're the coordinating producer.
Well, the difference between the executive producer and the coordinating producer, coordinating producer coordinates a lot of this stuff. The executive producer also is in charge of hiring everybody. So you're here.
I love you! Oh, you keep hiring me. I love you. That's good.
So that's part of it as well.
But you are a pain in the ass. All right, sorry. Now listen, you wrote these questions, so I'm going to ask you.
Nothing to do with those questions.
Yes, you did.
Nothing to do.
What are the biggest traits that make you successful in your job?
Organization.
Yep.
Passion.
Yep.
Commitment to excellence.
Commitment. Don't say commitment to excellence.
That's a Raiders
That's already been used already. And you're not doing so well.
No, commitment.
Just say commitment.
Well, unlike them, I didn't stop working in the 80s.
Right. I know. And the other thing about it is, you care.
I do care.
Right?
I do care, yes.
And the thing about it, we always talk about WestwoodOne in our broadcasts here, whether it be with Kevin Harlan, the great Kevin Harlan, or it could be with any one of our announcers, whether they be analysts, sideline reporters, whatever it is, we all care.
Right.
And that's maybe one most important trait you can have.
And that's the passion. If you don't love what you do every day, then it becomes a job and not fun. And where else would you rather be than at a football game?
Right. So last year we had the lights go out in New Orleans, which was amazing. So Kevin Harlan and I and Howie are all standing next to each other up in our booth. And what does Howie Deneroff come up with so we can stay on the air?
Well, the first reaction was, what's going on? Is it terrorism? Is everybody out? Is it just the stadium? Once we realized it was localized just to us, and there was a bank of lights in the back that was on, so it wasn't complete darkness, I realized the only way to get us on the air was to pick up a telephone and call into the studio. We put us on just like if somebody was calling your radio show in New York or anybody else, and we gave one to Kevin, and we gave one to Boomer, and they're standing there talking to each other like this because it was so loud you couldn't hear each other.
On a phone going through to New York,
and out to the satellite.
And what was interesting is that we actually had hardline telephones.
Correct.
Nobody uses them anymore.
No, but you have to have them as an emergency because we have them as an emergency.
Right.
In fact, here's one here for tonight, just in case.
Just in case.
Yes.
Right. I'll get that. Kevin doesn't need it.
Okay.
Right.
No.
But the point being is that
quarterback's the always most important.
There was never a panic in you were not running around like you are when you're asking us to do commercial reads. Then you're a crazy person.
But we have to take care of the sponsor.
We have to always take care of the sponsors. But the fact is that your poise, your preparation, your understanding of maybe something might happen prepared you to make sure that we stayed on the air.
Well, you have to be prepared. Just like, you have a backup quarterback, you always have to know what happens in case. Right. In case of this, what do we do? So, in case of that, we have to have a phone line backup. We actually had 3 other backups that also failed because they were powered.
Right.
So, that was actually our 4th backup, but we have it just for that reason. I've used it twice in 25 years.
You mean you didn't have a hamster on a wheel in the back of the booth?
That's the 5th backup. That's the 5th backup.
Or you know what we could do? We can make Jim Bright run like on a treadmill or something.
We'll check on them for this in New York.
So when you, I know how we always would celebrate like a game, like if we won a game or whatever. Is there a way to celebrate a game or a way that you would celebrate when you know that a broadcast has been great?
You mean like the Icky Shuffle or something?
Yes. You do the Howard Deneroff Shuffle.
No, honestly, no. Actually, you know what I do to celebrate?
Oy vey.
I sleep. Because, Super Bowl week is a crazy week. You're on constantly, you're running around, making sure everything's done. So that's the best way to celebrate. Because if everything goes well, you can rest easy. If not, then you're like, oh, I should have done this, I could have done this, and luckily I haven't had too many shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Excuse me, Pat, I'm giving an interview here. So, by the way, let me ask you this other thing. When you know that you've actually done a good job and it was a good broadcast, what makes you fulfilled? What gives you great fulfillment?
Honestly, if everything sounds good, all the spots have to work.
Right.
It's very important. All the information. We never want to leave any information that we could have used or something happened within the game, whether it's a record or whatever. And no technical glitches.
Right.
Most people will only know something's wrong if they hear something wrong. And so it's pretty much obvious, and we've done enough of these that, there's very few.
Right.
But they happen. None of us are perfect. though, you know, you don't throw a perfect game. It's very difficult.
No, the only time I ever saw you get mad is when Kevin Harlan mispronounced your name in the credits. I think he called you Seth Deneroff or something like that. Anyway, it's Howie Deneroff. He's the executive producer here at Westwood One. We want to say thank you to the folks at Grainger for supporting our broadcast. He's the guy who gets it done here at Westwood One, much like the folks at Grainger are always getting it done.
Thank you.
Have a great Super Bowl week, everybody.